Welcome back to the channel Rare Coin Insights. Have you ever looked at a penny, tossed it in your pocket, and thought nothing of it? You probably have a few of these lying around your house right now. But what if I told you that a single 1985 penny could be worth more than just 1 cent? Stick around, because we're about to uncover the mystery of this seemingly ordinary coin, and trust me, you won't believe what we're about to reveal. There's a reason some collectors would go wild for a 1985 penny, and it's not just about nostalgia. In fact, some of these pennies could be worth hundreds of thousands, or even millions, of dollars. So, what makes the 1985 penny so special? How can a penny, which is still in circulation today, have such incredible value? I promise that by the end of this video, you'll be checking your change like a coin expert, hoping you found a hidden treasure. But first, let's dive into what makes this little coin tick, and how it went from a humble cent to an object of desire in the world of coin collecting. Hey everyone! Welcome back to your channel name. I'm your name, and today we're diving into the fascinating world of the 1985 US penny. Most of us don't give this coin a second thought. After all, it's just a penny, right? But there's so much more to it than meets the eye. In this video, we'll look at the history of the penny, what makes the 1985 edition stand out, and how it fits into the larger world of coin collecting. But don't go anywhere, because I'm going to share some mind-blowing facts and rare coin insights. You might even want to check your coin jar by the end of this video. Trust me, it could pay off. But first, let's take a quick trip back in time to see how it all started. The US penny, also known as the 1-cent coin, has been around for over 200 years. It was first introduced in 1793, and since then, it's undergone many transformations, reflecting the changes in the country's economy and culture. The first pennies were made from pure copper, which was quite a valuable metal back then. Fast forward to 1909, and the penny gets a makeover, featuring none other than President Abraham Lincoln, who's become a permanent fixture on the front of the coin. But the 1985 penny, this little guy, stands out in a way that's tied to not only its design but also the history of US currency, technology, and even some mistakes that happened during its minting. Now, we've all seen the 1985 penny, most of us have a few in our pockets or laying around somewhere. On the obverse, we've got the familiar portrait of Abraham Lincoln. It's the same design that's been in circulation since 1909. But did you know that the portrait itself has a fascinating backstory? You see, this design was created by sculptor Victor David Brenner, and it's been used on the penny for over a century. It's one of the most iconic images of Lincoln we have, but what really stands out about the 1985 penny is its reverse side. You've probably noticed the Lincoln Memorial. It's been the design on the back of the penny since 1959. It's a symbol of national pride and history, and in 1985, it was at its peak in terms of design. The detail is stunning, but it's also a reminder of the rich history and the symbolism behind the penny. However, as beautiful as the design is, there's more to this penny than meets the eye. Stay with me, because we're about to dig into the real reason the 1985 penny is so special. In 1985, the composition of the penny changed dramatically. Up until that point, pennies were primarily made of copper, but as the cost of copper soared, the US Mint decided to reduce the amount of copper used in pennies. So, starting in 1982, the US penny was made of 97.5% zinc and only 2.5% copper. While this change was a necessary one for cost reasons, it also made the 1985 penny slightly lighter than its predecessors. In fact, this small change could make your 1985 penny more valuable than you realize. But, as we'll see, it's not just the material that makes this coin worth checking for. The real story lies in what happened at the US Mint during its production, but before we get into the minting process, let's talk about the mint marks. The 1985 penny was minted in 3 different locations: Philadelphia, Denver, and San Francisco. Each location used a different mint mark, which can significantly impact the coin's value. So, if you're holding a 1985 penny right now, do you know where it was made? If you don't, you could be missing out on a rare and valuable coin. But wait, there's more. The location where a penny was minted could also mean there are certain errors, and these errors are exactly what makes some 1985 pennies worth a fortune. Stay tuned, because I'll be revealing how to spot these rare mistakes and why they matter. In 1985, the US Mint produced billions of pennies, but not all of them are the same. Some are far rarer than others. We've got rare errors, misprints, and even unusual variations that make certain pennies worth thousands of dollars. Take the 1985 double-die penny, for instance. This rare coin has a minting error where the design was struck twice, creating a double image on the obverse. This mistake can make a 1985 penny worth up to $1,000, or even more. But how do you spot a double-die penny? I'll show you exactly what to look for and how you can determine if your 1985 penny is one of these highly sought-after coins, but that's not the only error you should be looking for. Some 1985 pennies are missing mint marks entirely, while others have misaligned strikes or other manufacturing flaws that make them more valuable. And here's the thing, condition is everything when it comes to coin collecting. A 1985 penny that's in near-perfect condition could be worth way more than you think. In fact, some of these coins could fetch hundreds, or even thousands, of dollars at auction. But what makes a penny's condition so important? How do you grade it to determine if it's valuable? Stick around, because we're about to talk about grading and how it can affect the value of your 1985 penny. Grading a coin is one of the most important steps in determining its value. Coins are graded on a scale from 1 to 70, with 70 being the highest possible grade. A penny with a grade of 65 or higher could be worth much more than a penny with a lower grade. But how do you know where your coin stands? Well, inspecting it closely is key. A coin with sharp details, a well-preserved finish, and no major flaws will be worth more. Small imperfections, like scratches or discoloration, can significantly reduce a penny's value. So, if you've got a 1985 penny, make sure to check it closely. You might be holding on to a hidden gem. Now, let's talk about some real-life stories of people who struck it rich by finding rare pennies. One collector stumbled across a 1985 double-die penny at a garage sale for just a few cents. Little did they know, this coin would sell for $1,500 at auction. Another collector found a 1985 penny with a missing mint mark, a major error that's highly sought after by collectors. This penny ended up selling for over $5,000. Imagine finding a penny that's worth thousands of dollars. Could you be the next person to make a fortune from a seemingly ordinary penny? I'll tell you exactly how to check your coins in just a moment, but first, let's talk about the future of coin collecting in the 1985 penny. With the rise of digital currency and coin shortages, you might be wondering if pennies are still relevant. The future of the penny is uncertain, but vintage pennies like the 1985 penny will always be in demand. In fact, collectors are still eager to get their hands on rare pennies, and even as the US Mint phases out these coins, their value could continue to rise. So, how can you make sure you don't miss out on these valuable finds? As we wrap up this video, let's recap what we've learned. The 1985 penny might seem like a simple coin at first glance, but there's so much more to it than meets the eye. Whether it's the rare errors, the unique mint marks, or the pristine condition of the coin, your 1985 penny could be worth way more than just 1 cent. So, check your change, inspect your pennies closely, and look for those rare variations that could be worth big money. If you enjoyed learning about the 1985 penny and want to discover more about coin collecting, don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe for more videos like this. Also, leave a comment below if you've ever found a rare coin or if you've got a 1985 penny you're wondering about. Next time, we're diving into another iconic piece of US history, so stay tuned. You won't want to miss it. Thanks for watching, and remember, 1 cent could be worth a whole lot more. See you next time. The 1997 US penny may look like just another ordinary coin, one that's often overlooked in a drawer full of change, but did you know that this seemingly insignificant piece of currency could hold a secret worth far more than its 1 cent face value? Imagine, just for a moment, finding a 1997 penny that could be worth hundreds, or even thousands of dollars. Sounds unbelievable, right? But believe it or not, this is not just a fantasy. There are rare 1997 pennies out there that can fetch a fortune from coin collectors. You may be wondering, what makes a 1997 penny special? What sets it apart from all the other pennies that were produced around the same time? Well, to truly understand the value of the 1997 penny, we have to take a deeper dive into its history, design, and the minting process behind it. So, let's start from the beginning. The US penny, or the 1 cent coin, has been part of the country's currency for over 200 years. The penny has undergone several changes in design and composition, with the most notable design being the portrait of Abraham Lincoln, which first appeared in 1909. This design, created by sculptor Victor David Brenner, is still featured on the front of the penny to this day. On the reverse side, the Lincoln Memorial was introduced in 1959 to celebrate the 150th anniversary of Abraham Lincoln's birth. It became a symbol of the unity and strength of the nation, and it stayed as the reverse design on the penny for decades. Now, when we zoom in on the 1997 penny, it's important to note that while it may look like just another typical Lincoln Memorial penny, it came at a unique time in U.S. history. By this time, the U.S. Mint had already switched the penny's composition from pure copper to a combination of 97.5% zinc and only 2.5% copper. This change, which was first implemented in 1982, was driven by the rising cost of copper. The shift made pennies lighter and more affordable to produce, but it also had some unintended effects on the durability and appearance of the coin. Many of the 1997 pennies, just like other zinc-based pennies, are more prone to wear and corrosion than their copper predecessors, which can affect their overall condition, and as we'll see, condition is a major factor when determining a penny's worth. While the changes to the penny's composition may seem insignificant, they did lead to some intriguing possibilities for rare errors that could drastically increase the coin's value. And this is where things get really interesting. Some 1997 pennies were produced with minting errors that make them highly desirable to collectors, and if you happen to have one of these rarer variants, it could be worth a small fortune. One of the most famous and valuable errors that can be found in the 1997 penny is the double die error. This occurs when a coin is struck twice by the same die, resulting in a visible doubling of the image or text on the coin. In the case of the 1997 penny, this error typically appears in the date or the lettering of the word "Liberty" or "In God We Trust." These double strikes create a distinct visual effect that's highly prized by collectors. If you have a 1997 penny with a double die error, it could be worth hundreds, or even thousands of dollars. But how do you spot one of these rare pennies? It's not always easy to identify a double die error, but there are a few key things to look out for. The first is a noticeable doubling in the lettering or numbers on the coin. For example, if you look closely at the word "Liberty" or the year 1997, you might see a slight doubling or shadowing of the text, which indicates that the coin was struck multiple times in the minting process. Double die errors are one of the most sought-after mistakes in coin collecting, and they can sell for a premium price at auction. Another possible error in the 1997 penny is a misaligned die strike. A misaligned strike occurs when the front and back designs of the coin aren't perfectly aligned, resulting in an image that's off-center or lopsided. This error is typically less obvious than a double die, but it's still highly valued by collectors who appreciate the rarity of such coins. A misaligned die strike on a 1997 penny can often be seen with the naked eye if you look carefully, and if you find one, it could add significant value to your collection. That it's not just errors that can make a 1997 penny valuable. The overall condition of the coin plays a huge role in determining its worth. Coins are graded on a scale from 1 to 70, with 70 being a perfect coin that shows no signs of wear or damage. A well-preserved 1997 penny that has minimal scratches, discoloration, or other imperfections could be worth much more than a typical, worn penny. Coin collectors look for coins in mint state condition, meaning the coin looks almost as good as it did the day it was struck. A 1997 penny in mint state could be worth significantly more than its face value, especially if it has a rare error. As you might imagine, the rarity of a 1997 penny with an error or in mint state condition makes it highly valuable to collectors. But you may be wondering, how much are these rare pennies actually worth? Well, it can vary depending on the specific error and the coin's condition. A 1997 double-die penny, for example, could easily fetch anywhere from $500 to $3,000 or more at auction. Even a 1997 penny in excellent condition, with no noticeable errors, could be worth up to $10 or $20, still far more than its 1 cent face value. While the 1997 penny is far from the most valuable coin in U.S. history, it's one of the more accessible ones for beginning collectors, and it offers an exciting opportunity to uncover a rare treasure from your everyday change. The great thing about coin collecting is that it's not just about owning a coin, it's about the thrill of the hunt, and the chance to discover something valuable when you least expect it. But here's the kicker: even if you don't have a rare error penny on hand right now, there's always a chance you could come across one in the future. Coins from the late 20th century, like the 1997 penny, are still in circulation, and many people overlook them or throw them away without ever considering their potential worth. The next time you're sorting through a jar of pennies or checking your change at the store, take a moment to look closely at the 1997 pennies you come across. You might just find a rare gem hiding among the rest. So, what are the chances of finding a valuable 1997 penny? It's not impossible, but it does take some effort and attention to detail. Many collectors spend years searching for specific errors or varieties, and the thrill of discovering a valuable coin is what makes coin collecting such an exciting hobby. Whether you find a double-die penny, a misaligned strike, or simply a well-preserved coin in mint state condition, there's a world of opportunity waiting to be explored. In the end, the 1997 penny is a reminder that even the most mundane things in life can hold unexpected treasures. What may seem like a simple, ordinary coin could be worth far more than you ever imagined. So, next time you reach for your spare change, keep an eye out for that 1997 penny. It might just be the key to unlocking a hidden fortune. The 1998 US penny is another seemingly ordinary coin, but like other pennies from this era, it could potentially hold more value than its 1 cent face value. The penny, or 1 cent coin, has been a staple of US currency for over 2 centuries, and it continues to be a symbol of everyday transactions. However, certain years and specific variations of the penny can be worth much more to collectors and investors. To understand the potential value of a 1998 penny, it's important to first look at the history and characteristics of the coin. By 1998, the US penny had already gone through a significant transformation in its composition. Since 1982, the US Mint had shifted the penny's composition from being 95% copper to 97.5% zinc with a thin copper plating. This change was due to the rising cost of copper, which made the production of copper pennies more expensive than it was worth. As a result, the 1998 penny, like other pennies from the 1980s and beyond, is primarily made of zinc, with only a thin layer of copper on the surface. The design of the 1998 penny also followed the traditional pattern that had been in place since 1959. On the obverse, front, side, the penny features a portrait of Abraham Lincoln, the 16th President of the United States, created by sculptor Victor David Brenner. On the reverse, back, side, the coin features the Lincoln Memorial, which was introduced in 1959 to honor Lincoln's legacy. While this design remained unchanged for many years, it was eventually replaced in 2009 by the Union Shield design, but in 1998, the Lincoln Memorial was still the hallmark of the penny. While the 1998 penny may appear to be a routine coin, it's important to note that rare varieties and minting errors can significantly increase a penny's value. The value of a coin is determined not only by its age or design but also by its condition and any potential errors that may have occurred during the minting process. A coin's condition plays a significant role in its value, with coins that are well preserved and show little wear being more valuable to collectors. One of the main types of errors that could increase the value of a 1998 penny is the double die error. A double die occurs when the coin is struck multiple times, causing the design to appear doubled or shifted. This error can occur in different parts of the coin, such as the date or the lettering, and it is highly sought after by collectors because it is relatively rare. If you happen to come across a 1998 penny with a double die error, it could be worth significantly more than its face value, potentially reaching hundreds of dollars depending on the severity of the doubling and the coin's overall condition. Another potential error that could make a 1998 penny more valuable is a misaligned die strike. This happens when the die used to strike the coin is not properly aligned, causing the design to be off-center or uneven. This error is less noticeable than a double die, but it can still make the coin more attractive to collectors looking for unique or unusual pieces. A misaligned die strike on a 1998 penny could add a few extra dollars to its value, especially if the coin is in good condition. In addition to minting errors, the condition of a 1998 penny also plays a significant role in determining its value. Coins are graded on a scale from 1 to 70, with 70 being a perfect coin that shows no signs of wear. The better the condition, the higher the value. A well-preserved 1998 penny, especially one that has little or no visible wear, could be worth more to a collector than a penny that is scratched, worn, or damaged. Collectors prefer coins in mint state, which means they have been preserved in excellent condition since the day they were minted. As with any coin, rarity is another factor that can affect the value of a 1998 penny. While the 1998 penny is not considered a rare coin in terms of the overall number minted, some rarer varieties, such as the double die or coins in pristine condition, are more sought after by collectors. The U.S. Mint produces billions of pennies every year, but that doesn't mean that every penny is created equally. Coins with unique characteristics, such as errors or special markings, are far less common and are often more valuable than standard pennies that show little to no wear. So, how much is a 1998 penny worth? For most people, a regular 1998 penny will only be worth 1 cent, as it is still in circulation and doesn't have any special features. However, if you happen to come across a 1998 penny with a minting error, such as a double die or misaligned strike, or if it's in exceptional condition, you could find that the penny is worth much more. Depending on the specific error and the coin's condition, a 1998 penny could sell for anywhere from $1 to several $100s, especially in the case of a double die error. While the 1998 penny is not one of the most valuable coins in U.S. history, it can still offer significant rewards for those who know what to look for. Coin collecting is a fascinating hobby that requires a sharp eye and patience, and it can lead to discovering rare and valuable coins that might otherwise go unnoticed. If you happen to have a 1998 penny in your collection, it's worth taking the time to carefully examine it for any minting errors or signs of unusual wear. Even if your 1998 penny doesn't turn out to be worth a fortune, it can still serve as an interesting piece of U.S. history, a reminder of the coins that once circulated during the late 20th century. In conclusion, while the 1998 penny may seem like a common and unremarkable coin, it has the potential to be worth far more than its face value if it contains errors or is in exceptional condition. The world of coin collecting is filled with possibilities, and even pennies from more recent years can hold significant value for those who are willing to search for unique and rare specimens. So, the next time you find a 1998 penny, take a moment to look closely. Who knows, it might be worth much more than you think.